to Tabula Rasa, bitches.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Allie. My pronouns are she, her.
Long time no see, Allie. My name is Nick, and my pronouns are he, him.
And welcome to Season 2, Episode 10 of Tabula Rasa, bitches. Welcome to Part 2. We're ecstatic that you are here with us.
So ecstatic! In Tabula Rasa, bitches, your two co-hosts discuss and dissect Buffy the Vampire Slayer, a show that bonded them together so many years ago. And in this episode, we are going to be discussing Season 2, Episode 10, What's My Line, Part 2.
Part 2. As usual, we'll do our best to avoid spoilers beyond this episode, but today we'll discuss this episode's spoilers and all. We pick up from last episode with Kendra and Buffy facing off. Buffy calls a truce, and they go and confirm Kendra is indeed a Slayer called when Buffy died at the hands of the Master. Angel is minutes from death by sunlight when he is saved by Willy, only to be delivered right to Spike. Cordy and Xander are attacked by the Bugman Tarakan and barricade themselves in the basement. The stress of the moment leads to a quick and passionate makeout, and then, confused, they escape. Meanwhile, Oz and Willow are getting along well, but are interrupted by the third Tarakan disguised as a policewoman who shoots at Buffy. Oz takes a bullet in the arm, saving Willow. No. The gang then discover that Spike means to revive Drew with a ritual that will kill Angel. Buffy opts to go directly to the church and intervene, rather than taking Kendra's suggestion and regrouping with Giles first. Double-crossing Buffy, Willy delivers her to Spike and the Tarakans. Just as Buffy is about to be killed, Kendra and the gang storm in. A massive fight ensues. Spike goes to run away with Drusilla, but Buffy hits him with a well-thrown thurible. We just learned that word today. To the back of the head, and an organ comes crashing down on them, and then they're presumed dead. The next day, Buffy sends Kendra home on a plane, this time sitting with the rest of the passengers. Just as the episode fades out, we see a restored, vamped-out Drusilla emerge from the wreckage with an injured but still alive Spike. Shout out to Buffy Guide, from which the summary was adapted.
Well, Allie, not to call back to our first episode and your use of the dreaded word girthy, but there's a lot that happens in this summary. There is a lot that's happening in these two episodes. Man,
they are
oh man.
Action-packed for sure.
There's a lot of plot packed in, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So my notes start out with the, kind of epic fight between Buffy and Kendra winding down, and Buffy's like, okay, scenario. You chill, I'm a chill. We're going to go back to my watcher, figure this shit out.
Yeah.
And Kendra says, I accept your scenario.
Yeah. And I have to know, once again, if in case anyone needed to be reminded, adding Y or O to words doesn't make them easier to understand. Buffy says, no Kiko, no Fido. You're all right. This is her being weird because Kendra has an accent. She's worried she's not being understood. And it's just like, that's not how language works.
If I could just add on to that too, talking louder at somebody is something that you'll often see, like, people engaging with people who speak other languages do. Also doesn't help that they're not
also not helpful.
Stupid.
Right.
They, like, we talked about this like briefly before. In fact, somebody who's like speaking another language and like speaking with a thick accent, they're probably smarter than you because
they speak their native language and they speak your language.
So yeah, probably don't add O to the come on, Buffy.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in our Slayer there.
So
so they head out to Giles to confirm, because she's claiming to be a Slayer, and Buffy's like, I was pretty sure I'm the only one.
That is like pretty much a reaction too. And in the library, they're figuring out more about the two Slayers thing. Kendra introduces herself as Kendra. She says she doesn't have a last name. Is that an 80s thing? Is that a 90s thing?
So Buffy has
not
a comment,
having a last name.
So Buffy has a comment, stuck in the 80s, are we, or whatever, because there were big names like Cher and Madonna, who were just just shared.
She's just Kendra. This is another Nick doesn't know pop culture thing. It makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for the education, doll. You're the best. Yes, Sting. Yeah.
So yeah, that's that.
I appreciate it. I am jumping ahead, not because I'm embarrassed from not knowing that, although I am embarrassed in it. Whatever. Willow walks in. There's this hilarious moment where Willow walks right in. Kendra walks right up to her and goes, "Identify yourself."
Back off, Pink Power Ranger. Or Pink Ranger. Back off, Pink Ranger. Yeah, I love that.
So I found out in the trivia that's related to the fact that Buffy's stunt double was also stunt double for the Pink Ranger at some point. She didn't choose, Pink Ranger randomly. There's like a Buffy cool through line there, which is kind of neat.
That's fun. Before we got to that line, so we also have a shot of Angel. Sun is continuing to come up. He is not doing well. He's like shaking. Yeah. But he's in shadow. Like, I know that it's creeping in, but he's technically still in shadow. So why is he shaking and looking so unwell? It's not like he's in the sunlight.
Yeah, this was an interesting thing that I had questions about too. Okay, so it's not just that being in sunlight kills a vampire, but it's like being near sunlight drains them of something. This was not, but it wasn't explained to us before then. Yeah.
I guess it's maybe nitpicky about rules and whatever. Anywho,
because he is still and we've seen vampires do some pretty impressive things. I know that we saw Kendra put a really impressive padlock on that thing, but like, come on, man.
He could have tried.
We saw Philip in an episode recently break through, and he's like a zombie, break through the library thing. Yeah, you could have tried. Yeah.
I feel like he could have bent something, pulled something. But again, I guess maybe the even indirect sunlight was weakening him. I don't know. I guess he deserves the benefit of the doubt. I guess.
Whatever makes his shirt come off.
So I have a note about that later because that makes no sense.
I have so many notes about his shirt status. That's funny. I'm not mad about any of them. It's just a note.
No, it's just it was a choice that someone made. So we're in the library and Kendra says she died and Buffy says just a little.
It's funny. So funny this like discussion they're having about Buffy like literally dying, and Buffy is so defensive about the fact that she like only died a little bit.
For like it
5
minutes.
It was like only for a second. Come on, I was only gone for a minute. I only died a little. Come on.
But I guess that's all it takes. She was technically dead, and so it put Destiny into action.
Yeah. So Kendra talks about how she saw Buffy kissing a vampire. She assumed Buffy was a vampire too, which, like we talked about in the last episode,
kind of
1 week ago and not 10 minutes ago, that it was a reasonable assumption to make. And Willow goes, Buffy would never do that, except that sometimes you do that. But only with Angel, right? And it's just like
only with Angel.
This whole funny thing, yeah.
It's a cute exchange. So we're back at Willy's. Willy drags Angel out of the locked up cagey place, drags him to a sewer grate, drops him down. He jumps down. Spike is there, Spike and his goons. And I just have to know, we just talked about this. Oh, how did Angel's shirt come open?
So
when he's dropped in the sewer, how is it? It just ends up like it's there and it's flapping open, makes him look like a little more exposed and weaker. And it's like, well, that's not how buttons work.
So, and this comes up again later, this inconsistency with his button situation. Yeah, he falls down. His
also,
shirt.
Didn't he have a coat?
I think you're
right. When he walked in, because he never has like just the button up. He has the like blazer with the button up underneath. And if you're trying to get away from sunlight, you're not going to take off layers. If anything, we see
you're gonna cover it up. We
have another vampire friend who does just some traveling in the sunlight. So if anything, he's going to be covering himself up. So I guess he could have taken it off. But like, it doesn't make sense that he lost his blazer and now his shirt's open.
That's a whole other layer to dig into that I hadn't even thought of.
Mhm.
Even just in the way it's shot. He literally falls down. His shirt is mostly buttoned. And then in like another shot, like 2 seconds later, his shirt
wide
is
open,
fully unbuttoned. And I didn't see Spike. If I had been Spike, I would have unbuttoned his shirt, but I didn't see him do that.
Mhm.
So I think this is just inconsistency. Inconsistency I'm happy with, but inconsistency.
Exactly. Yeah, someone's choice that I was like, I'm not going to contradict it. That's fine.
So I like this moment between, so Willy gives Angel to Spike. And I think this is another pretty low-key progressive moment in Buffy and like low-key progressive moment in Spike too. Mm-hmm. Willy says, what are you going to do with him? And Spike is cheeky. He says, like, I'm thinking dinner and a movie. I don't want to rush into anything. I've been hurt before.
I wrote that one down, too.
And Spike is making a gay joke, but without like being gay being the butt of the joke. And it's...
Right. Yeah. It's like, obviously, I'm going to hurt him.
Yeah.
So, the joke is the romance, not that it's between two dudes.
Exactly.
Sure. Yeah. I think I wonder if our friends, the Buffy gays, would consider this the gayest moment of the episode.
Buffy gays? What do we think?
A comment. I'm sure you thought of a moment, so let us know.
Oh, true.
So, yeah. So Spike takes him off to use him for the ritual and stuff and probably kill him. So I think we pick back up at the house with Xander and Cordelia. They're still fighting off the bug guy. I would burn the house down if that bug guy came in.
Yeah.
It's just, you're everywhere. I just burn it. Kill it with fire.
Yeah,
Cleanse
maggots.
it with fire.
I don't do maggots.
Nope.
Creepy crawlies. Nope.
So gross. So nasty.
Yeah, that house has to go. Yeah.
That's how I saw that one.
Yeah, I agree entirely. There's some really funny exchanges in here, but the point is that the bug guy is disgusting. I'm not clear on how he's deadly, but we know he is deadly. I guess it's
because tenacity. I mean, he can go under doors and... Yeah, it is. I never thought about that. But like, yeah, what is your plan?
I only thought of that just now. I just spent most of the episode being horrified by him.
Exactly. I'm just like not even past the like, ew, to actually think about like, okay, actually, once he catches me, what is your plan? It's a good point.
Maybe I'll just be dead by then because I'm so terrified.
Disgusted. I'll die from
gross
horror.
You are.
Maybe. So... I think we're back at the library.
I think that we are at Willy's.
Yes.
So Kendra and Buffy go back to Willy's to find Angel. They realize that Angel can't be dead because there's no ashes. And I think Kendra's interaction with Willy is so funny. She like tackles him and she's like, this one is dirty. I can feel it. And
you're not wrong.
Yeah, it's just
instincts.
So spot on. Willy says, in true Willy fashion, we'll find this out about him. As the series goes on, he's very sly. He says, actually, I saved Angel, which is kind of true. And then he lies and says, oh, he was just going to stay underground for a while. Mm-hmm. And then Kendra and Buffy are really sassy to each other. They have an exchange. They go out. And then as they're walking out, Willy has some fucking nerve. Willy propositions them to take naked pictures. And I wanted them. Listen, I know they're going for Angel. I know it's a super time sensitive situation. I think Angel will understand if you turn right back around and kick his ass some more for daring to even broach that with you.
I mean, it is a compliment, and I don't know. I thought it was funny. I mean,
I did think it was funny. I did think it was funny. Yeah.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah.
I can see. He said tasteful art pictures. if you're going to photograph the human body,
And I'm sure he meant it totally respectfully, just totally tastefully. I'm sure that's what he had
if you're
in mind.
looking at bodies that would be nice to look at, unclothed, both of them, probably good ones. And you don't know if you don't ask. He wasn't rude about it. He was just like, hey, have you ever thought about this? I've got a friend.
No,
and then
Boyd needs his ass beat.
He lets it go. I don't know. I think Willy deserves to have his ass beat for a lot of reasons. And whether his friend is legit or not is certainly questionable.
Well, I will agree with you that Kendra and Buffy are gorgeous people.
They are.
Anybody would be lucky. Anybody would luckily receive tasteful nudes of them. But Willy, you ain't the one, my boo.
No. If it's gonna be somebody, it ain't gonna be him.
Okay, now I think we're back at the library.
Yeah. So Kendra keeps referencing a lot of protocol. When she talks about her research and stuff. Buffy says, there's a Slayer handbook? And Willow says, is there a t-shirt too? Because that would be cool.
It would be cool.
It would be cool.
At some point, we have a cut back to Spike, Drusilla, Angel. Spike is bringing Angel in. This is my other note about Angel's shirt situation. Did you notice this too? Am I nitpicking?
That it was open for this part, or that there was a button.
Yeah.
And then it falls open.
Yeah.
I thought maybe that button wasn't really buttoned, and that was just like it happened to lay in that way that it looked like it was buttoned, and then it wasn't actually buttoned. I thought maybe that was a movement thing, but that could also be me making excuses.
That's interesting. Okay, you did know that. Okay. So it did appear that his shirt wasn't buttoned when we last saw it, and then it at least appeared buttoned, whether it fell that way or it was buttoned, and then he laid down again and he was on. There's a lot going on with Angel's clothing. Just take it all off. Take it all off, folks, and remove any doubt.
Drew pretty promptly does.
Good for her.
As she goes to toy with him.
Sorry, that was sadistic. I shouldn't have said that. I don't blame her.
I mean, I have a note about that later.
So this exchange where Kendra is such a nerd about protocol, like you said, and Giles is so giddy about it, and Buffy is like strangely left out. What do we think?
So I think that Giles has some comment of like it was very clear, it was very evident very early on that like the handbook would not work with Buffy. He could have at least given it to her. Mm-hmm. You and I have talked about this with other circumstances of like, I feel like you should always give people the opportunity. Yeah, Buffy might have been like, like I'm going to read this. But like, I don't know. You don't know if you don't try. Like she could have at least had it to reference. Maybe she wouldn't have read it cover to cover. But again, you should at least, he still should have put it out there.
She shouldn't have been surprised that it was even a thing. If she knew about it, was like, oh yeah, fuck that. Then that's one thing. But the fact that she didn't even know about it.
Exactly. Like she should have it in a drawer at home somewhere.
Yeah, I agree. The exchange towards the end from Kendra is really interesting to me. She's really sassy about Buffy being a student. She says, I imagine she's a cheerleader as well. And it's interesting. Kendra seems jealous about Buffy in a way to me. And then Buffy also seems jealous about Kendra and her relationship with Giles.
Yeah.
It's just everybody's envious of like Buffy.
I saw it less jealous and more insecure. Like, oh, is that how I'm supposed to be?
Oh, yeah.
Like not that she wanted to be Kendra, but more that like Kendra was pointing out the things that she's not.
Yeah. Insecure is the better word for it.
I don't have the luxury of only being able to focus on slaying or like all these things that like, oh, I supposed to know that? Because I don't know if you've ever been in that place of like when you weren't taught something or you weren't told somebody something and then someone operates like you were, or you're like, wait, was I supposed to be doing this? And it's a horrible feeling.
Totally. So are we picking up? So when Kendra is making these little digs at Buffy, what is prompting that, do you think?
I think that's her feeling a little superior. I don't think that I didn't see it as jealousy. I saw it more of, oh, so you're just like slacking. You're just like, here I am training all day and you're sitting in class. You're probably waving pom-poms.
Interesting. I thought more so than I thought Buffy was jealous of Kendra. I thought Kendra was jealous of Buffy. That's so interesting that we interpreted it those different ways.
I definitely see that come eventually when they start talking, like when they're in the
Giles'
Buffy's like
office.
when they're in the office and they're having that conversation. I definitely see some jealousy creeping up there. I saw this as kind of taking a dig at Buffy as a Slayer.
Yeah, superiority. Interesting.
Or maybe her also feeling insecure and feeling the need to pick at what Buffy chooses to do as a Slayer. Kind of like when you have the same role as somebody and you're like, well, that's not how I would have played it. Or I wouldn't have given that presentation that way.
In the fundraising world, which is where I work, there's a million different ways to fundraise. You can get money from events, so you can get money from grants, so you can spend your time asking people for money. And if you talk to like other people in doing the same kind of job that I do, yeah, you totally get into that. You're like, damn, should I? And it's not even, it's more just like, no, everybody kind of does what.
Lots of ways to get there.
Yeah, that's so interesting. The Willow, we talked about Willow being a total bro in the last episode, and she's a total bro here too.
Absolutely.
Because she reassures Buffy. She says, you'll always be Giles' favorite. And it's just, I don't know, this emotional intelligence from Willow was so kind.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it is, I mean, it was pretty clear on Buffy's face, but yeah, she immediately knows that, yeah, it's, he doesn't expect you to be that way. And that's not how he wants you to be anyway. And yeah, it's lovely. But we see another interaction between Xander and Cordelia. Cordelia clearly trying to pretend like nothing ever happened, that the kiss just didn't happen. And Xander's like, hey, that was clearly a mistake, whatever. And once again, goes from fight to kiss. And I wrote down most awkward looking kiss award goes to.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's so weird. And
I mean, clearly it's supposed to be, because it is not a romantic, passionate kiss.
Yeah, just purely out of desperation. I think that there is so much good dialogue right heading up to this tension of this really weird kiss. I just think it was one of those, I wanted to type out all of the dialogue heading up to it because I just thought it was so funny. And it's a really so funny good. Back and forth. So good, Allie. And then it ends with Xander saying, we so need to get out of here. And Cordelia saying, Oh, it's so good. He calls her a big dumb dog. You can't do that, but it's really funny. But you can't call it. No. Oh my God. And then the tension. Oh, it's so good. Oh my God, I love that moment.
And it goes from a high to a very, very low as they think that the bug guy is left, but instead he was on the ceiling and bugs rain down on Cordy's head. And so gross, so horrifying. This leads me to another Julie Press story. As a kid, we used to play around with caterpillars and stuff, and I didn't understand why my mom didn't like caterpillars. It's like, they're cute and they're fun. Like, why don't you like caterpillars? Apparently, when she was in grade school, she had very, very long hair like me, and she's wearing it down, and some jerk in her class gathered up a bucket of caterpillars and dumped it on her head.
No, that didn't happen. No, there's no way. Don't say that.
Yeah.
Do you know that man's name? So
then I was like, oh, I understand.
Do you know his name?
I'm sure she does. Yeah, JP, send Nick his name. Well,
when she's on for Band Candy, which she's going to be on for,
absolutely,
I'm going to ask her on air for that fucker's name, and we're going to put it on the internet.
Drag him. Yeah, let's swat his ass.
No, and we're gonna dump caterpillars on his house and see how he likes it. That's ridiculous. That's disgusting.
So
Are you
nasty.
Kidding me? He dumped caterpillars on her head?
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that.
On her really long hair.
No.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
I'm going to burn your house down. This is the official notice, my friend. You're a goner. Yeah, Bugman falls onto Cordelia. They run outside, and Xander is like attacking her with a
hose.
And at one point she goes, Xander, let's go. Okay, we're good.
Although she clearly was not good. And she didn't even think to take off her jacket, where there definitely wasn't. Yeah, I mean,
take off your sweater, girl. Come on.
Yeah, take it off. Anyway.
Well, true.
We're at school, and Willow is checking on Oz after his arm's in a sling after he got shot. This whole exchange between the two of them is just, he is so confidently weird. We know a lot of weird people, so he's not that weird, but he's just so funny the way that he's talking about, I'm not really about like school, but like I oddly test well and all this stuff. And apparently his one ambition is E flat diminished 9th. Apparently the flat is fine, but that diminished, it's a man's chord. You could lose a finger. And she's clearly so charmed by him, and they're just enjoying. Yeah. And he says she's got this great smile, and then oh no, that's later. Sorry. The smile thing comes later. But they are just being cute. I love Oz.
The chemistry between the two of them in these 2 episodes is so good. It really,
so clear.
I don't know, paving the way. It's so nice. Yeah, it's really cute. So yeah, we've learned that cop lady is actually an assassin.
Yeah, she starts to call roll. She calls Buffy first, and then immediately draws her gun. It's the only name she calls, then immediately draws her gun. Could have been more comedic if it weren't such a serious situation.
Yeah. Cop has drawn her gun very quickly. Yep. Oz gets shot. This girl has a lot of weapons. She has a lot of guns. She's a knife. We see Jonathan gets a cameo. Our friend Jonathan.
Yeah.
And then I think the most satisfying part is that Buffy and Kendra kick this cop's ass.
Yep. That was pretty awesome. So Xander says something about like, what is this? The British Soccer Fan Association. That was a reference I did not get. Maybe that was a topical thing. Did you look that up?
I found this from the trivia. I have a little bit of an experience with this, but I think I might come across poorly, so I'm not going to expand on it. So in the trivia, it said that it was because he walked in and the scene was just mayhem. Mm-hmm. And there's this reputation among soccer fans where you walk into a stadium afterwards and it's just chaos.
Gotcha.
Messy shit.
Soccer fans go hard.
Soccer fans go hard.
True.
Yeah.
So that was that. Okay.
Yes, I was confused about that too.
I wasn't sure if there had been like a shooting at a soccer game or something like that. That was just like a 90s thing that people in the 90s would have gotten that I didn't get.
I'm sure our lovely listeners can correct me, but I'm pretty sure it's just a soccer fans reference going hard.
Okay.
So we're in the library. It's established that Kendra is also a slayer. I have 2 Xander lines. One of them is Xander slander. It's my first Xander slander, I think, in a few episodes. The first line that I think is funny, Xander says, to Buffy, he says, I knew this. I'm the only one was an intention getter, which is hilarious.
That is hilarious.
And then this is my Xander slander line. He says to Kendra, so you're a slayer. I like that nobleman. Xander, don't talk to strangers that way. Don't be weird. Come on.
Yeah.
Especially now that we know that like Kendra is weird around dudes and doesn't have like, oh, poor baby. Oh.
Yeah, it's definitely especially like unfortunate for her because she's so weird with guys.
That's okay. That first line was funny though.
Yeah. I have Buffy says, you can bug people, Xander. What's up with that?
Yeah. Yeah, the callback. Yeah, is really good.
Yeah, I do have they're talking about the order and it's like really serious and stuff. And I wrote down the order isn't that serious. The cop lady kind of just ran away.
Yeah, she wasn't quite as tough as the other. Well, I guess
I don't know. Maybe it was a strategic retreat. Like, kind of looked like she just kind of ran away.
I like this moment between Kendra and Buffy. They've had kind of this rivalry between the two of them, like who's better, who's like whatever, and they'll keep exploring this too. And Buffy says, these Taraka are definitely serious. Fortunately for me, so is Kendra. And it was a nice way to kind of break the ice.
Yeah, coming at it more like a team rather than opposition, which was pretty cool.
So Giles, I think, has figured out that the ritual to restore Drusilla requires Drusilla's sire, and that it's going to be on the night of the new moon. Although in the previous episode, they said that it required the full moon. There's like a new moon, full moon tension, whatever discrepancy.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's fine. Anyways, the night that they need to restore Drusilla is tonight. And then it's news to everybody that Angel is Drusilla's sire. Buffy shares that with them. It's kind of a
tense moment, a little bit.
Yeah. And then it gets even more tense. Giles says, the ritual's going to kill him. And Kendra's like, I kind of don't give a shit about Angel.
Okay.
I'm just trying to stop Drusilla.
And Giles actually sticks up for Angel. Which was like, yeah, I mean, he has saved everyone's asses enough times that he certainly deserves to be stood up for. Giles definitely being one of the asses he has saved on a few occasions. But I can see where Kendra's coming from, where she's like, so? But we also still don't want you wouldn't want Drusilla to get more powerful. So still, let's all still be on team no ritual.
And then I wasn't clear by the end of this little exchange. Like Buffy jumps down Kendra's throat a little bit here and is like, no, either you're with me or you're not, or like she says something like that. And Kendra does come around, and I'm not quite clear by the end of the scene if she's come around, because like to your point, if it's like, okay, whatever, we want the same end goal here, or if Kendra is legit like, oh, Buffy has a point, but whatever. They're on the same page no matter what, you know.
And it might be a bit of both. Or like, well, if her watcher vouches for him, then I guess that makes him different. No one bothered to say that he has a soul.
True, they didn't.
Like, he's different. He has a soul. Because I feel like that would be the point that you want to make. Like, that's probably the best evidence you have.
Good piece of context, right?
I think so. Yeah, definitely a stronger argument than just he's my boyfriend.
Right.
But I do have a note. Kendra has this perfect, subtle, smoky eye that is just beautiful. I noticed that at some point in the scene. Like, girl.
We love a Slayer with the smoky eye.
Yep, it's just like very subtle, but looks excellent. Yeah.
Good for her. Happy for her.
Yep. So, Drusilla?
I think we're at this delicious scene.
So, I wrote down, don't say something about Angel tied up in my room. Don't say something about Angel tied up in my room.
Do it.
I know.
Let's all imagine it.
Yeah. No, it's just this. She had
you fucking
Drusilla,
bitch. You bitch.
It was just more of a general feeling of like, I'd like to have him tied up to my bed. I didn't get more elaborate than that because I was trying to focus on watching the episode.
But it's still strangely sexual.
Oh, it's hella sexual. And it only gets more sexual when Angel comes in, or Spike comes in and Angel starts mocking him, kind of.
Juliet Landau's, is that how I pronounce her last name? Landau? Whatever.
Yes, baby.
Sorry.
Who knows?
Juliet, I love you. Her acting to me is so good when she's like pouring the holy water on him, because she's all at the same time. Like, her lines are what she says. They used to eat cake and eggs and honey until you came and ripped their throats out. And she simultaneously comes across as crazy and sadistic and sad and angry and just all of these things at once. It's really impressive.
Yeah, she really, and crazy's not easy, because it's like you can definitely overdo it, but she does that. She does that perfect threading the needle. It's excellent. It's a great scene.
Yeah, it's really good. So we're back at the library. They know that this ritual is going to happen at a church. There's a really cute moment that I noted with Willow and Giles. Giles is like making his rounds or whatever, and he sits down for a hot second next to Willow, and he gives her a mint And Willow like does this cute little like smile and takes them in.
That was
sweet.
super cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're looking in. Giles found this big book on the Order of Tarakan and Taraka. And Xander finally finds the bug guy and says, "I'm the bug man, cuckoo, cuckoo." For ages, I would say that, and I had no idea. He totally says it wrong. If you actually look up lyrics or really listen to I Am the Walrus by the Beatles, which is what he is referencing, actually the line is goo goo gajoob.
What?
Cuckoo cuckoo. Now, cuckoo cuckoo, in my opinion, sounds better, but technically it's goo goo gajoob.
I've heard people say cuckoo cuckoo, other than you.
Yeah, I think it's a common misconception.
Wow, that's wild.
So he's not the first to say it wrong, but he did say it wrong on TV.
Xander, I would never show your face around here again. Don't you dare. That's a good piece of trivia, Allie. Thank you.
No problem. So in this scene, we hear, I think now we see Kendra and Buffy in Giles' office. Buffy is sharpening a knife that she's never gonna use. So that's super weird.
Yes.
For a moment, I was like, oh, yeah, she's carving new sticks. I'm like, nope, she is sharpening a knife that she's for sure never going to use. Kendra says that she was sent to her watcher when she was very young. How did they know that she was a potential?
There are, I think there's some gaps here, especially like what we learned. Well,
I mean, I guess we deal more with potential slayers later on in the series.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess there was somehow they knew how to find them. So I guess there are other places in the world where they knew how to find potential slayers.
But if they knew about it at this point, then it would beg the question later on why there isn't a better infrastructure for identifying and keeping the potentials safe.
I guess it's a numbers game.
There's just so many potentials they couldn't possibly.
Or there's enough.
But yeah, this was confusing to me.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
But also, we start to feel for Kendra in this situation. Like,
yeah,
she's been cut off from her family, from her friends. It's this great
just
sacrifice.
About everything.
Her community
kind of sounds like she's never had friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like never had the opportunity to make friends. So, I mean, and she doesn't seem too upset by it, but it definitely seems like an explanation for sure of how she got to where she is.
She doesn't feel upset, but we still feel sorry for her because even though she is, it sounds like, at peace with her life, we all still realize that she is repressed by the fact that she's not in touch with her feelings, and Buffy can so much as poke at her, and Buffy's like Kendra starts to get activated by her, Buffy's prodding, and Buffy's like, what you're feeling right now, that's anger.
Yeah, because Kendra's talking about how emotions are just a distraction. Buffy shows her, she's like, no, it's your fuel. It's what makes you powerful. It's a tool you can use, which is really great. And I think what we're starting to see is a lovely camaraderie of I'm not alone, which, we can all in one way or another find some example in our own lives of a time that like we felt alone, we found out we were not alone, or we have someone in our lives that makes us feel like we're not alone. And she was literally something that was supposed to be the only one. No one else can understand what I'm going through. And we talked in the last episode of part of what gets Buffy so upset about being the Slayer is the idea that like she doesn't get a day off because there's no one to come and fill in for her. And I know at some point in this episode, she will to talk about like, I don't know, maybe it'd be nice if I could go fuck off to Disney and Kendra could take over things for a while. Maybe not forever, but I don't know, be nice, a month or two.
Yeah, get a little bit of a break for sure.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like not set an alarm for maybe a week.
Right. Yeah, really complex and nice scene between the two of them.
Yeah. And until Buffy mimics Kendra's accent there at the end. That's a little.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't
mimic people's accents.
Don't mimic people's accents. Yeah.
Unless it's British. I think we talked about this off mic, but we definitely came to the consensus that you can make fun of British people. That's fine. They've been, conquering people for ages and stuff. Like, you can make fun of them.
Yeah, we can make fun of the
British accents,
like imperialists. That's fine.
Exactly.
Oh, yikes. The current event that just happened related to that. And we're making it. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to keep going.
Oh, well. Whatever.
Oh, well.
People had
sorry
feelings about that. Sorry, not sorry. So we're back.
Sorry about the feelings I don't have about it.
Don't have any feelings.
That's the last thing I'll say about it.
So we're back with Angel and Drusilla. Spike comes in. He says, like, all right, it's time to get going. And Angel's trying to rile up Spike and is basically implying that Spike's inadequate in the bedroom. And Angel says, or maybe you just don't have the fire we had. And I'm like, oh, so is that implying that
I wrote that question out too? Yeah.
I mean, I know that
do they have a sexual history? That's what this scene leads you to believe. And Drusilla doesn't say no.
No, right. Yeah. She's definitely like, stop. She has some funny lines of like, bad boy. And
yeah.
Which is funny. And in this scene, I feel kind of bad for Spike because clearly Angel's pushing some buttons. Mm-hmm. And we are fans of Spike and Drusilla. So, like, dude, don't poke holes in other people's relationships. Rude.
I just had this thought now. I think that they don't have a sexual history, but we know that Drusilla... Okay, you can cut out this whole thing if you have to.
So I've said this about Lucifer, the show Lucifer. It's preposterous for someone that old to still be heterosexual. There's just no way.
You're right.
So, like, if you think of how many hundreds of years that these vampires have been alive, like, there's no way that they haven't experimented. It's just impossible.
And there is this like
Angel
jealousy.
Angel has probably sucked a dick. Let's be honest.
Oh my God, you better calm down right now. Oh my God.
Oh, I'm sure the internet has said way worse about Angel and Spike. Or has said more intense things about them.
This is fantastic. No,
know that there's Angel Spike /fic up there. Because know that it's there.
In the tension that we see in this scene between Angel and Spike, there is more.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Potentially even between them. You were so right.
Well, and it goes back. It kind of reinforces the whole threesome thing. Yeah, they've been around for
hundreds of years. Nobody can be that heterosexual after hundreds of years. You're so right, Allie.
Yeah. I didn't have this in my notes, but it came to me while we were talking about it. And it also sort of reinforces the idea that there was a threesome, maybe even a Spike, Drusilla, Angel threesome at some point. Maybe Darla was off, I don't know, fucking somebody else. Because the idea of, like, this is why you don't have threesomes with friends is that there's always somebody who's like the more prominent player. So maybe that already pokes at some insecurity that Spike had. Like, maybe there was a night where, like, Drew was spending just a little too much extra time with Angel rather than Spike, like, because it's never going to be fully even. It's never an equilateral triangle. Come on. So maybe it pokes at some history that he was already insecure about.
Oh my God. This is piping hot tea. Some very great fan fiction, if not written, to be written.
Oh, there is no way it's not already written. There's no way.
Oh my God.
I would bet you $1,000 that it already exists. Similar to, there's a whole website dedicated to Draco and Ginny fanfic. I would not be shocked at all.
Draco and Ginny?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I think it's called the Fire and Ice Chronicles or something like that.
There's a whole random combination to me. Draco and Ginny?
Clearly, there's a lot of people who do not consider it a random combination.
I get, yeah. What do I know, right?
So similarly, I would bet a lot of money that there is a similar website dedicated to Angel and Spike fanfiction.
And then, probably also a site dedicated to the famous foursome that we just discussed. Man, there really is a spot on the internet for everybody. That's great.
There sure is. And now I'm thinking there might be some exploring I need to do. Anywho.
Yeah, I have some Googling. I have
well, forward me anything that looks promising.
Yeah. We'll do some more note exchanging.
And maybe we'll add some links somewhere that you can all enjoy.
Okay, yikes. So,
okay, so we're at the church, I think. We're at the church? Things are going down?
Just very quickly, Buffy and Kendra have beat up Willy. Angel has said, "Oh, I'll take you to the church where it's happening." Buffy's like, "Great." Kendra's like, "No, we have to go back to Giles to
she's
get
like,
orders first."
Lol, I don't do that.
Yeah, Buffy's like, "Fuck no." Okay, now we're at the church.
Yep. Well, first I said this. I think I said this earlier. The whole restored by the blood of the sire actually makes totally sense. So good job on that writing. Yeah. So they have this really great fight. There's a great moment where they do get Spike and Drusilla away. Well, Spike sees all the shit going down and he decides, all right, we got to bail. Hopefully this was enough for you, babe. He detaches Drusilla to get them away. And it's always so weird in shows when everyone just like watches someone have a really tender moment. Because Buffy goes to check on Angel. She's like holding him because he's clearly like weak and all that. And it's this very sweet, very tender moment. And everyone's just standing there watching. Always very weird.
Really? I didn't think it was weird at all. I thought it was, after just this epic fight, super dramatic, like, and we see a lot of lessons that we've kind of been learning come to fruition. Like the cop lady cuts Kendra's shirt and she's like, "That was my favorite shirt. That was my only shirt." And we see that, and like we see like Willow and Giles staking, like it's so high stakes. I thought it was a delightful moment at the end. So Spike has mostly gone away and Buffy throws that thing at him and the whole thing comes crashing down and she's just having this tender moment with Angel, like you said. I thought specifically what was the really sweet moment was that Kendra saw them having.
Yes. And I do really like that Kendra comes to help Buffy carry Angel out of the church. I thought that was really nice because it was clearly like she acknowledged the feelings that were there. Like, this is not some fling. This is not some passing thing. This isn't some, the bad boy that Buffy's with temporarily. Yeah. So that was a really lovely acknowledgement of the relationship. But I don't know.
That is funny too, especially while like, I think at that point there's fire happening around them.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like maybe don't watch. Maybe like go ahead and stop, drop, and roll or whatever you're supposed to do around a fire. But like maybe don't watch the super cute moment. But it is cute, but don't watch it,
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of the building.
Yeah. Maybe get out. So we talked about in the summary, Buffy does a cool I don't even know what Olympic sport, what track and field sport I would liken it to, but she throws the thurible at Spike and it like knocks him into the organ, and he's carrying Drusilla, knocks him into the organ, which then crushes, and then it's destabilized, so the whole thing comes crashing down. I don't know if they're really that delicate that him falling into it would really bring the whole thing crashing down the whole thing. Really, like the wood is slightly more durable than that.
I have been I haven't been to church in a while, but I remember going to church when I was a kid and watching the big like there were kids running around church falling and knocking into shit all the time.
I mean, I
if
guess
organs fell every time.
I suppose it's the force of the throw from Buffy knocked him so forcefully that it damaged the bottom, and then the bottom support structure for the top of the organ was destabilized, so that brought the whole thing come crashing down.
Well, that thing was likely hundreds of years old, and I hope that church wasn't in use because that is a bummer for those parishioners.
In use. Yeah, because if it was in use, they're not allowed to use it anymore. I guarantee that's how they cleared out that church. So yeah, I don't know. I definitely had a moment of really. It's kind of like when there's a car crash and all the cars blow up, and you're like, that's not really how cars work. I don't know a lot about cars, but I know that's not how they work.
They're not ready to like just explode on a moment's notice. Yeah. Yeah. The organ's not going to all just come crashing down if you sneeze on it.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine.
Yeah. Whatever.
So the next day, Willow goes up to Oz and they have just this really cute moment. They just having the goofiest dialogue. And
so cute. She asks, how's your arm? And he says, suddenly painless. You're like,
painless. Oh, that is so cute. Oz, date me, so please.
Sweet. And then they start talking about the animal crackers, and he makes Willow laugh. He says, you have the greatest smile, which like just totally throws her off. And then he's just like, we're not even going to stop to go into that. He says, I mock you with my monkey pants. And all monkeys are French. You didn't know that? Oh, I love it.
What did you say before? He's so confidently cool. Is that what you said?
I said confidently weird because he's just kind of weird. Like, I'm different and I'm not trying to
confidently be weird. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, he really is.
Just love it.
So Cordelia is walking down the hallway and she does kind of a 180 when she sees Xander. They end up going into the classroom.
Another awkward
and Xander's more awkward making out, which is just delightful. And then outside we see that Buffy has given Kendra a new shirt.
Yep. Cute shirt.
Kendra says thank you, and Buffy says, hey, it looks better on, well, me, but no worries.
Buffy's outfit that she is sporting is also super cute. These green pants, this pink tank with the tan jacket. Like, it is just a very well put together outfit.
And I just love this dialogue, like just the solidarity they share together. Yeah. Buffy like makes a joke about, okay, maybe they're not going to fire me for dating a vampire. And Kendra says, like, they're having this banter and Kendra gets really serious really quickly and says, you always do that. You talk about slang like it's a job, and it's not. It's who you are.
Good point, girlfriend. Good point.
And then Buffy says, did you get that from your handbook? And Kendra says, from you.
Oh, yeah.
It's so nice.
It is. It is really lovely. And I can only imagine the relief these two must feel having each other, not being alone anymore.
Yeah, they're not the only ones.
Yeah, it's like Clark Kent finding, his cousin Kara. Like, oh, I'm not the only Kryptonian. Like, it's just, no one else in the world no one else will ever understand what these two women are going through except each other.
It's kind of like how I felt when I met you, Allie, and I was like, finally, there is somebody as gorgeous as me.
This is just like that.
Man, somebody gets it, finally. And then we find out that, of course, Spike and Drusilla, who we assumed were dead because an organ fell on them.
Yep.
They're alive, and Drusilla is strong again.
Yeah. Is this the first time we've ever seen Drew vamped out?
No, we saw her bite the bad girl. Parent-teacher night.
You're right. Okay.
But she's vamped out with more ferocity behind her, I feel like.
And in the same way that Spike was able to just pick her up like she weighed nothing, she picks him up and she's like, it's okay, babe. I'll take care of you this time. It's that, very reciprocal relationship. It's very sweet.
You better treat him right. If you don't, I will. Girl.
Yeah. Well, he deserves to be treated twice as well as he treats you.
I have 3 pieces of trivia.
Ooh, lay it on me.
Do you want to do your final thoughts first, or should I do trivia and then final thoughts?
Do trivia, then final thoughts.
All right. Trivia number 1. Apparently, during this adorable exchange between Oz and Willow, Oz's all the lines after Oz complimented Willy, like he was like banter, and then he said, you have the sweetest smile. And then banter. It was so cute. All of the lines after you have the sweetest smile were ad-libbed, which is impressive because that's when they talk about monkey pants.
That is when they talk about monkey pants.
Isn't that sweet?
That's really sweet. Knowing how funny Seth Green is and what a great writer he is, I can totally see that.
Not surprising at all, right? Trivia number 2, Buffy tells Kendra not to watch the in-flight movie if it's about a dog or Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase, I didn't understand that reference. In 1988, Sarah Michelle Gellar had an uncredited cameo in the movie Funny Farm, which starred Chase. So that's widely seen as a little callback there.
Huh.
And then the final piece of fun fact here is that Bianca Lawson, who played Kendra, hated her accent. She was like told to do the accent like a day before filming or something.
Oh man.
And like didn't have a chance to practice it and like isn't super
happy with how it turned out.
Well, and like, yeah, if you tell somebody to do Jamaican accent, and then apparently there were problems where she was like, okay, I can do Jamaican accent, but just so you know, if I do that, then like Jamaican accents, like you're not going to understand this word in the script because it's like a Jamaican accent. And they were like, oh, just do your like they kind of like not great.
Okay,
not great.
Don't love that.
You can cut that piece out if you want.
No, it's very interesting.
Yeah. So she wasn't personally happy with the accent, but I thought that she did great with it. I love Kendra's character.
I mean, consistency-wise, she did a great job.
And such just like a great juxtaposition between Kendra, the like rule follower and by the book, and her learning to be a little looser, and Buffy affirming like what the power of friendship does for her, and maybe getting a little bit from Kendra too. And I just... such a great collection of episodes.
And I do love that they follow up on the whole once a Slayer dies, a new Slayer is called. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if they hadn't done it, it probably is something that we would have picked up on, been like, didn't she die? Does that mean someone else should be called? But that's great because, you know, at this point in the season, I feel like it does come up in a way that like, oh shit, we all forgot about that. You're right. She did technically die. She's still alive now, but like, I can see how the universe didn't get that message or whatever powers that be that already went into motion. Definitely interesting.
It's like just long enough into the season where you're like, hey, what happened about that? Remember that? And then it comes up again. Man, there's brilliance.
Yeah, it's definitely well done. Well done, gang. Yeah, so final thoughts wise, this two-parter is really great, and it only leads into more fun, exciting episodes. I'm really excited for the latter half of this season because it's a lot of fun stuff.
We're digging in.
Yeah, and and these two, like, it's a lot of Angel, and Buffy, which of course I love. So just fun to get to watch these again.
And I can't wait to dig in even more.
Yay! Well, I think that about does it for this episode. Thank you for joining us for today's episode, and we hope you'll join us next time when we discuss season 2, episode 11, Ted.
Ted. If you are just too excited to wait until the next episode to chat, please send us an email at tabularasabpod@gmail.com. That is tabularasabpod@gmail.com. You can also say hello to us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok at tabularasabpod. I'm watching Hazel assault Allie with love, and it's the most wonderful thing. Friends, we would be so thrilled and honored if you would leave us a rating and a review wherever you listen to podcasts. Hazel has just knocked over Allie's microphone. Please, leaving us a rating, leaving us a review wherever you listen is really helpful. It's how people find out about us, so we're grateful.
And we're awesome, so people should know about us.
We are. Allie, where can people find you on social media?
People can find me on social media on Instagram and Twitter at DaughterPick, DAUGHTERPICK. And you can find me on TikTok at Future Black Cat. Hush, we're almost done. We're so close. Yeah, you're like, this is so hard. Yes, at Future Black Cat on TikTok. And if you'd like to send me money, because I am a young starving artist trying to make it in the big bad world. So send me money. With a dog who's so needy. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/AlliePress. ALLIEPRESS. You can read the Not So Weekly updates, learn about my journey. But if you're like, fuck all that noise, I don't like emails, I just want to send you money, you can go to Venmo, Allie-Press. And that's it.
All of the social media handles are going to be in the description. Allie, I love you so much. Hazel, I love you so much too.
I love you. I love you, Joey and Sammy, whoever was snoring. I love you. And all of you out there. Till next time, make proud choices.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye. Tabula Rasa, bitches, is hosted by Ali Press and Nick Mercer, with music by Inflaton Cult, artwork by Charlotte Fleming Design, and consultation by Evo Terra.